Hey everybody, Tony from SLOTRODS here. Come meet some of the cast members of SLOTRODS live at the 83rd Motor Modeling Car Club Slot Car Show, formerly the Cleveland Slot Car Show, now at its new location in Beloit, Ohio. 3 days of slot car fun, all sizes and shapes of tracks, and we'll be on hand to represent 1/24th scale slot car drag racing, SLOTROD style. Come on, race with us on our track with some of your favorite cars from the show. We'll see you there.
I'm almost down in the downtown Greensburg area. Are you guys sure about this?
A few moments later.
Well, you know, at least the blizzard's picking up.
I rhyme for my life, I rhyme for my pay, I rhyme for my people out here doing it every day. I rhyme for the raw heads, I rhyme to the beat. I rhyme for the ears that been keeping it to the street. I rhyme for my life, I rhyme for my pay. I rhyme for the people out here doing it every day. I rhyme for the raw heads, I rhyme to the beat. I rhyme for the ears that been keeping it to the street. The underground overlord coming to town. Oh my God, raw heads, you know my squad, real shit, no facade.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the streets. I'm Randy Silvas.
And I'm Tony Mollick.
Today, we're going to bring you our WPSRA Christmas special. Christmas?
I told you I'd have it out by St. Patrick's Day. I still got time to spare. In honor of the blizzard I had to drive through to get to this race, this will be forever known as the Great SLOTRODS Snowball Battle of 2025.
These 18 cars will race in a double elimination challenge.
Which is to say everybody can lose once, but if you lose twice, it's game over. Last man or woman standing wins.
Round 1, race 1 will begin with the 58 Chevy called Pops versus the Willis called Nicodemus.
Rolling.
Pops digs in too hard and the front end bounces, giving Nico about a 3-car lead.
And Pops just could not reel him back in. And so Pops takes the first loss of the night.
Up next, the Pontiac called the Godfather versus the Porsche called 911.
Rolling.
Two.
The Godfather's going to have to be a lot quicker on the light if he's going to compete with these smaller, lighter cars.
911 gets off to the immediate lead and keeps that lead to the finish.
Making the Godfather our second car to take a loss.
Next to the line, the Cutlass called the Olds versus the Camaro called Redeemed.
Camera 1 is rolling. Camera 2, camera 3.
Looked like the Cutlass was slow off the line napping. And Redeemed takes the advantage and the win.
And the Olds takes a loss.
Next to the line, we have a couple of SLOTROD veterans. The Camaro called McMullet versus the lime green Thunderbird called Louise.
And Louise beats McMullet to the 60-foot mark.
McMullet tried to make up that difference, but Louise holds him off till the finish.
Making McMullet our next victim.
Rolling to the start, we have Baptism versus the Eliminator.
Eliminator got the jump and bounces up out of the slot, loses power, regains traction, and takes off chasing Baptism.
Yeah, I'd say the Eliminator got out first. You can see he lost power and Baptism shot right by him.
By the time the Eliminator grabbed asphalt, it was too little too late.
Next up, two of SLOTRODS' finest. The Lamborghini called Negligence versus the Dodge Demon called Little Demon. Negligence gets out first and keeps the lead all the way to the finish, giving Little Demon one strike.
Next up, the Buick called Bob versus the other half of the demonic racing team, the Blue Demon.
Rolling.
The Blue Demon gets out first. And the Buick GSX just could not catch it. And that gives Bob a strike.
Next to the line, we got Snakebite versus Booberry.
Rolling.
Booberry was the first one to mid-track. And Booberry takes it by a car length.
Giving Snakebite a loss.
Up next, we have Brian Kane in his Black Knight versus Mark Rendos in his new build, the Dodge Daytona called Cruisin'.
Cruisin' gets out first, but Black Knight closes the distance by camera 2.
Oh man, this has got to be a photo finish.
I don't know, this is really fine. From my angle, it looks like green's out in front, and Cruisin' takes it by a chin spoiler.
Tony, that may be the closest race we've ever had.
And that makes it 9 races, and that makes it the end of the round. In round 2, those racers who already have a loss can't afford another.
For them, it's win or go home. And our first race of round 2 is the GSX called Bob versus Cruisin'. He has to deadhead and turn around and race 2 in a row.
And Cruisin' jumped.
Jump.
And that disqualifies him and gives him his first loss.
Yeah, this should be a fast race. Blue Demon versus Black Knight.
Wow.
Blue Demon got the jump. But that Black Knight took him on the big end.
And here he comes. The Black Knight takes it by a fender.
Rolling.
Up next, we got a couple of 412 cars. The Olds versus Louise.
They left at the same time, but Louise managed to out 60-foot him.
And Louise manages to hang on for the win.
Giving the Olds his second loss and making him our first casualty of the night.
Up next, we have Negligence versus McMullet.
Negligence has the chance to take McMullet out of the competition if he wins here. Wow, Negligence was out like a dart, and McMullet just had no chance of catching him.
Giving McMullet his second loss and his ticket home.
First round losers are dropping like flies.
Rolling.
Well, another is about to fall. We have 2 first round losers racing one another and 412 teammates to boot. We got Pops versus the Eliminator.
This time the Eliminator gets out first. And Pops just could not run him down.
Pops is on his way back to the garage, and the Eliminator lives to fight another round.
Well, somebody's going home on this race as well, because here's another 2 first-round loser race. Snake Bite versus Lil Demon. Man, that's 2 fast losers.
Something happened to Snakebite, and Lil Demon is gone. Snakebite just could not run him down. So, he'll have to run home, and Lil Demon runs on to the next round.
Next to the line, we have a race between 2 as of yet undefeated cars. Redeemed versus 911.
911 was uncharacteristically laid off the light, and Redeemed capitalizes on that, giving 911 its first loss of the night.
Next up, we got the Godfather versus Nico. And Nico has a chance to send the Godfather home.
And the Godfather's laid off the light again. And it cost him a second time.
And sending him home.
Next to the line, we have Baptism versus Booberry. 2 more cars that are safe to take a loss.
Not optimal, but survivable.
Now that's a drag race.
It looked like Booberry was pulling ahead of camera 2.
But here comes Baptism on the big end. It appears that he has it, but we're going to have to go to the photo finish.
Baptism manages to get past Booberry's headlight bezel with less than a car length left to the finish line.
That may have been the closest race we've ever had. I feel like I've said that before.
Yes, you have, many times. And every time you've been correct, we just keep getting faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, buddy, there are no slow cars anymore. And that makes Booberry's second loss. And Baptism sends Booberry home.
And that brings us down to 12 cars and kicks us off into round 3.
Next up, we have a whole lot of red. We got Lil Demon versus the Eliminator.
Ooh, 2 go out, but only 1 comes back.
And Lil Demon decides it's not going to be him that goes home. And the Eliminator just cannot overpower that Mopar.
And the Eliminator goes home.
Up next, we got Nico versus Redeemed. It looks like Nico got the jump.
But here comes Redeemed at camera 2.
Nicodemus got out in front of him by about a bumper. And Redeemed did everything he could to catch up. But Nico takes the win.
Which gives Redeemed his first loss.
Next up, we have a husband and wife team. Brian Kane in the Black Knight and Annette Kane in Louise.
Louise loses traction in the beginning and spends the rest of the race trying to run the Black Knight down.
And that gives Louise her first loss.
Up next, 2 undefeated Motown teammates. One is going to have to hand the other one a loss and send him home. Negligence versus Baptism.
This race was all negligence. And Baptism gets his first strike.
Next up, we got the rematch of Bob versus Cruisin'. And Cruisin' gets out first.
Bob threw everything at it he could, and he just could not get around Cruisin'.
That gives Bob his second loss and a ticket home.
Leaving us 10 cars with only 2 undefeated, Negligence and Nico. Up next, we have Nico versus Baptism.
Well, this won't take but a second.
Buddy, you're not kidding. Baptism looked like he had a bumper on Nico at camera 2.
But here comes Nico on the big end and manages to gap Baptism at the finish.
Giving Baptism his second loss and his ticket home. Nico remains undefeated.
We just had 2 Motown cars, now we got 2 412 cars. Black Knight versus 911, driven by Brian and Annette Kane, respectively. Brian manages to get a 1-car lead at the 100-foot mark,
And stretches it to a 2-car lead by the finish.
giving 911 her second loss and her ticket home. And that black truck manages to hang on for yet another round. And that brings us down to 8 cars. Next to the starting line, 2 more Motown cars. Seems the 3 fates of the Slot Rod universe want to see teammates take each other out.
The 69 Camaro called Redeemed versus the undefeated Lambo called Negligence. Redeemed stepped out on him and manages to hold that Lambo off for the win.
And Negligence gets his first loss of the evening.
Nice to see a race between 2 teammates where somebody didn't have to go home.
Maybe that'll break the streak. We've had 3 races in a row pitting teammates against each other. And broken it is. We got Blue Demon from the 724 racing Louise from the 412.
Blue Demon gets out first.
Louise was spinning. Look, she got out about 40 feet and the tires broke loose.
Which hands Blue Demon the win, and Louise goes back to the 412.
Which leaves us 7 cars moving into round 4. And Cruisin' gets the bye.
Up next, we got Blue Demon versus Redeemed. Blue Demon got out first by about a half a car. And he held that half a car lead to the finish.
Taking out a very fast car and sending Redeem back to Motown.
Next up, 2 of the fastest street class cars we have here. Nico takes on Little Demon. Nico launches off the starting line and immediately gets a half car lead. But here comes that Little Demon and manages to take it on the big end.
Giving Nico his first loss, and that levels the playing field for everybody.
So it's one and done for everyone.
Next to the line, Negligence versus the Black Knight.
The Black Knight gets out about 2 car lengths and loses traction.
And by the time he grabbed a piece of asphalt, Negligence was gone.
And that takes Negligence out of the race. And to be honest, long before I thought he would go.
Which brings us down to 5 cars.
Well, not quite. Cruisin' got tangled up with the catch pin in his last race, and even with the whole crew wrenching on it throughout the whole 4th round, they just could not make it to the starting line.
Which brings us to our last race of the round. Little Demon versus Nicodemus. Little Demon bounces coming off the line, but manages to grab asphalt. Comes around Nicodemus and manages a win. Well, then that brings us down to only 3 racers. Little Demon, Negligence, and Blue Demon.
The Demon Racing team is from the 724, and the Lambo is keeping hope alive for Motown.
First up, Negligence takes on the short track specialist, the Blue Demon.
The front end of that Demon come up, the body rocked back, and the power cut right out. Just about long enough to give up about a half a car length.
Yep, by the time I got up to speed, I gave up 2 cars to the Lambo.
No matter how fast that car is, you're never going to come around from a 2 car length deficit.
And that brings us down to the last race of the night.
Little Demon will attempt to get around that Lambo and avenge his brother.
Camera 1. Roll. Camera 2. Camera 3. Yeah.
Little Demon pops a wheelie and he rides the back tires for the first 100 feet. And like I've said in the past, it looks real cool, but that ain't no way to win a race. What the hell happened to the Demons?
Well, we found 2 front end weights in the catch bins at the end of the night, and both demons were missing their weights, and both demons were popping wheelies.
Yeah, it could have happened the round before, could have happened virtually any time, actually.
Well, that's why they call it drag racing. There's only one way to win, but there's a whole lot of ways to lose.
Well, the winner of the first ever Slot Rod Snowball battle and our fastest car in the street class division for at least this month is Negligence from Motown, driven by Mark Rendos. Let's take a trip to the winner's circle.
Okay.
So here we are today at Roscoe Fire Hall, and the winner of the 2025 Christmas Street Class, Mark Rendos. Congratulations. Thanks.
Hey, before we go, we had one race that didn't seem to be attached to anything.
At some point in between rounds, Blueberry called out Blue Demon for a grudge race, and we thought it was worth showing. Now that's a drag race worth waiting for.
Neck and neck at camera 2.
But Blue Demon noses ahead in the last 100 feet and takes the win.
Let's take one last look at our champion.
What's coming up next for the street class?
Well, we got a little surprise for this year's underground points chase. We're going to take a break from back to the streets for a little while, because this year the street class is going to be mixing it up with the EPM class in the underground.
How are we going to accommodate all those cars?
Oh, that's easy. We'll just run 4 lanes. Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Do you remember what happened the last time we tried to run 4 lanes? We lost a lot of cars that night, buddy. There were so many wrecks, we said we weren't going to do it again.
Well, that's why you never say never.
Next time we see you, we'll be at the 2026 Underground Points Chase.
4 lanes, 3 nights, not to be forgotten.
All right, folks. Till next time, I'm Randy Silvas.
And I'm Tony Mollick.
And you've been watching a production of Slot Rods.
The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. No scribbling aloud, yo, you just get a glance. Don't try to swim game, yo, just let the girl dance. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. You can watch a show blow from a distance, but give us some space on, let the girl dance.
Now that's a drag race.